What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with T-Mobile Revvl 8 tips and tricks and hidden features. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to get the most out of your device. So this is the T-Mobile Revvl 8. Now this phone is packed full of a bunch of really awesome features, and I'm looking forward to showing you some of my favorites here in this video. Now the first thing I want to show you is how to cut back on the animations on this device. Now one of my favorite things about the Revvl 8 is that we are getting this really fast 120Hz refresh rate display. And part of Android does involve that we are getting animations. For example, when you're opening up an app, as you just saw, when you go back to the home screen, there's also an animation there. But if you want to cut back on these, then it will make the phone feel a lot faster, and I do think it is something that is worth trying. So to do this, pull down the shade, go to the gear icon for the settings, go to search, type in animations, and you'll see right there already we have remove animations. So go there, then enable that, and now you'll instantly notice a difference. You can see going to the home screen there's no animation. Going to a folder is instant. Also, pulling up an application is also instant. Going back to the home screen is instant as well. So removing those animations in one way might not be as visually appealing, but at the same time makes this phone feel a lot faster. And if that's something you're looking for or something you want to try, then definitely take a look at that. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to get a battery percentage in the upper right corner here on your T-Mobile Revvl 8. Now by default, you can see there is a battery symbol, but we don't have the exact percentage. Now if you do pull down the shade here, you can see the percentage there, but what I want is to see the percentage at all times, no matter where I am here on the phone. So to do this, you're gonna pull down the shade, go back to the settings, and then in search, type in %, and you'll see right there battery percentage, go there, and then from here, simply enable battery percentage. And then now, no matter where you are in the operating system, you'll always see the battery percentage up there in the corner. And I definitely think that's an essential thing to enable because I find that to be super helpful. Now, while we're over here, there's a lot of other awesome options in the battery settings. So the first one here is battery usage. So if you go there, you'll have a good idea of how your phone's actually using your battery. Maybe you're noticing that your battery is being used a lot faster than you're expecting or want it to be. Then you can at least see what applications are causing the most battery drain, and then from there you can make adjustments accordingly. If you go back here, you'll also see we have battery saver. So this phone does have a really large 5,000 milliamp hour internal battery, and along with that we are getting very good battery life, but at the same time there probably are situations where battery saver will come in handy. So basically, if you enable battery saver, it's going to switch things over to dark theme. It's also going to cut out a lot of various background activities. And then along with that, you are going to be getting much better battery life here with the device. And then by default, when the phone does recharge and goes past 90%, battery saver will turn off. Now, if you do find yourself consistently needing battery saver, you also have the option here to set a schedule. So if you go there and then you enable that, you can basically have battery saver be enabled based on the phone reaching a certain battery percentage. So for example, maybe you want it to be 50%. Then when the phone reaches 50% battery saver will automatically be enabled here. So I'd imagine that probably anything under 50%, you probably would want to set a schedule. I mean, I know for me personally, I would probably do like 30% because certainly once you're at that level, then the anxiety kind of kicks in about your phone losing all of its battery and then you don't have a working phone anymore. So I can see there being a lot of benefits to setting a schedule. Now the next thing I want to show you is a quick and easy way to get to the camera app on your device. And all you have to do is simply double press on the power button and it pulls up the camera. And it doesn't matter where you are throughout the operating system, simply double pressing on that button immediately pulls up the camera. So that certainly makes things very convenient there. And you can even do this when the display is off, just double press, and then once it detects your fingerprint, it will pull up the camera. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to take a screenshot with the T-Mobile Revvl 8. And there's actually two different methods I want to show you in this video on how to take a screenshot. So the first way to take a screenshot is to simply hold the volume down and the power button for about a second, and then it takes the screenshot, and then from there you have options to share or edit. Now if there's a specific app that you want to take a screenshot of, you can also take a screenshot doing this method. So go to your recent apps, and then from there you'll see an option down there that says screenshot. So simply press on that, and then now it'll take a screenshot doing it that way too. But that's how to take a screenshot with the T-Mobile Revvl 8. Now with the T-Mobile Revvl 8, by default, we do have gesture-based navigation. So if you want to go home, you swipe up. If you want to go back, you swipe from the side, and then swiping partially up takes you to your recent applications. Now that's definitely very intuitive, and I feel like a lot of people do prefer that method, which is why they made it the default here. But if you do prefer the traditional Android 3-button navigation, you can still get that here on this device. So all you have to do is pull down the shade, go to the settings, then from there, type in nav, and then right here you'll see navigation mode, go there, and then go here, and then now you'll see that there is an option for 3-button navigation. Now the first thing is, for gesture navigation, there are some further settings here. So you can adjust the sensitivity, for example, which you might want to do. But then going back here, simply switch over to 3-button, and then from there, you'll see that we now have the 3-button navigation. So going here goes back, going there goes home, and then going here takes you to your recent applications. So in my opinion, I don't think one is necessarily better than the other. It really just comes down to your own preference. So if you've never used one or the other before, then I do recommend giving each a try. Now going to the settings here will show you that you can disable holding the home for assistant. So maybe you're constantly doing this by accident, then I suppose you can disable that if you don't want it. Now it depends on your preference, but some people find it very annoying that by default, if you hold down the power button, it pulls up the assistant instead of pulling up the menu to turn off the phone or restart the device. So if you do want to power down your T-Mobile Revvl 8, by default, you have to pull down the screen here, and then you can go to the button right there to turn off the phone. So that's great and all. It's really not a big deal that it's there, but if you do want to go back to kind of the old way of doing it, then you can go back to the settings here, type in gestures, go there, and then there. And then you'll see press and hold power button. So if you go there and then switch it to the power menu instead, now holding on that button will give you options to turn off the phone or restart, and these other options as well. So if you never use the assistant, then I can definitely see this making a lot more sense. Now with the T-Mobile Revvl 8, this is how the lock screen looks, but you can actually further customize this. So what you're gonna do is go to your settings, and then from there, you're gonna go down to wallpaper and style, and then from here, you can go down to more lock screen options. So once you go there, there's a bunch of different things you can do. You can add text to the lock screen. So you can add your name, maybe you even want to add your email address in case someone finds your phone and then they want to get in touch with you to get your phone back to you. You can add that information so that it's on your lock screen so that anyone can see it. But I'm going to add my name just like that, go to save, and then now when we go to the lock screen, you can see my name is now down there. Maybe you don't want all of your notification information to be on your lock screen for anyone to see. You can go to privacy and you can switch it to don't show notifications at all, or change it so that you have to unlock the phone to see all the details. And then going back to the original wallpaper and style page that I showed you, you can also go here to change the size of the clock. So you can go to size and then change it to small. And then now you can see it's a lot different compared to the full size. You can also go over to home screen, and then from there, you can change the app grid. So if you don't want 5x5, you can have 4x4 or 3x3. Maybe you want your icons bigger, then you have that ability to change that right there. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to do split screen with this device. So what you're going to do is go to your recent apps, pick the first app that you want in your split screen. So I'm going to pick the calculator app, hold down on the icon, and then go to split screen. And then now you can pick the second app. I'm going to pick the calendar, which is also here in my recent apps. And then now you can see it's a 50-50 split between the calendar and the calculator. And then from there, I can pick and choose which one I want to take over further. And then if I do want one of these to completely disappear, then I can swipe fully there. Now, one of my favorite things about Android is how many different options we're getting here in the shade. So you can do different things like access quick share. You can do a screen record. You can scan QR codes, all that. But if you do want to further customize this, simply tap on the pen icon right there. And then now there's actually a bunch of other ones here. For example, we have dark theme, there's hotspot, your alarm, all of that. And there's even more down here as well. And you can just pick up one of these, drop it in, and then now you'll see it's right there. So that's super convenient. But this concludes my video on tips, tricks, and hidden features for the T-Mobile Revvl 8. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. But this is Kevin here, and I'll see you in the next one.